Chapter 26 Big City. Summary. It's most of their first times traveling out of the town they crashed by, and oh boy, is it a lot. When they finally arrive in the big city, it's loud. Like warehouse on the trafficker ship kind of loud. Simply putting, Katsuki was not a fan. The group stuck close together as they exited the train station. Mei and Roundface at the front of the pack with the map, and Katsuki at the back. They moved through the crowded streets together as the two girls attempted to figure out the way. Mei was visibly bouncing up and down with excitement. Katsuki didn't get what was so exciting about ship parts, but if it helped them get back to Earth, he wouldn't complain. He only tagged along to find something spicy anyway. That was totally the whole reason. He didn't come with to make sure everyone was safe or anything. No, he just wanted to find something spicy on this barren, flavor wasteland of a planet. Seriously, what kind of town didn't have spice anywhere? There needs to be some in this city, or he'll go crazy. They steadily made their way deeper into the city, and into some sort of engineering district. He doesn't understand any of what he glimpsed through windows and cracked doors. Don't even get him started on what the signs written in BASIC said. They all needed to learn the written form of the language eventually, and he's not looking forward to it. From what he had to learn from work, it was a completely different system than Japanese, which was not going to be fun. Soon enough, they arrived at the doors of a greasy-looking building. Katsuki could hear odd, loud sounds coming from inside, which did not make him particularly eager to enter, but Mei and Uraraka did, so the rest of the group followed suit. The inside was just as grimy looking, and a pudgy blue alien stood behind a counter with a bored look on its face. "Hi! We're here to get some parts for our ship, and I hear you are the best place to go," Mei enthused to the tired shopkeep. The alien tilted their head and slowly looked Mei up and down before an amused smile broke out on their blubbery face. "You certainly have come to the right place, then. What can I get for you?" they say. "Well, I need a thermal control system, A1 thrusters, life support system, thermal." As Mei continued to babble out technical terms, Katsuki just tuned it out. By the end of the surprisingly long exchange, the flabby alien was bordering on weeping, and Mei was cackling with glee while signing the shipping papers. They left the shop pretty quick after that, and were out on the bustling streets once more. Now that their main goal for the trip was taken care of, it was time to find some spice, and whatever secretive thing Mina and the pink-haired demon had been going on about earlier. He hadn't bothered asking with the amount of giggling coming from Mina. Giggling was never a good sign. Uraraka directed the group towards an outdoor, market-style plaza elsewhere in the city. It appeared to be the kind of place that had a little bit of everything, including more exotic items. Hopefully, that meant there would be some spices, as well as whatever Mina needed. Everything was so loud and exciting. Ochako was really loving the city. Despite all the alien aspects, the bustling life of it reminded her so much of home. Not in a homesick kind of way, though. More like in a way that put her at ease. She was currently leading the group through twisting streets to find the marketplace Aylin had recommended. Katsuki better appreciate this with all the sulking in the back he was doing. She knew Mina definitely would because she could not stop beaming about her secret project and saying how much Ochako would love it. After barely any time at all, they arrived at an open-air plaza, absolutely filled with stalls. It was kind of like the Festival of Lights, with all the different exciting stands. Textiles, fresh produce, jewelry, they had a little bit of everything here. Ochako excitedly moved the group closer to the mouth of the market before Deku spoke up. "So we're looking for spice and whatever Mina wants, right?" Katsuki let out a little grunt of approval, while Mina gave an excited yep. "Let's stick together until you see whatever secret thing you need, Mina. Then you and Mei can quickly grab it and come back so we're not apart for too long, okay?" With agreement all around, they dove headfirst into the bustling market. As they walked, Ochako was enraptured by all the different smells and sights. It was clear that this city's feel was much different from their little town. She was almost overwhelmed by the diversity and vibrant colors. Everything was also much more crowded. Some of the back streets they had taken were practically deserted, but as soon as they stepped foot near the plaza, they had been surrounded on all sides by life. Ochako wanted to just run up ahead and explore the bustling market, but she needed to stay with her friends. She agreed that they should always stick to pairs at minimum, and while she would love to go off with Deku or Mina, they all decided to stay as a group. She'd make do. Just then, Katsuki moved his way in front of the pack, and without warning, started leading them to a stall with what looked like different kinds of herbs and spices. Ochako let out a little huff at his lack of warning, but they were here for his spices anyway. He probably knew what best to look out for. They all settled up to the stall as the furry alien behind the counter finished with the customer. The bunny-like sentient turned their big blue eyes on the group and opened their mouth to speak, but Bakugo cut in first. I'm looking for something spicy, and I'm not talking about normal spices that just make your food taste different and shit. I want the type of spice that makes you feel like your mouth is on fire. You got any of that? He gruffly asked. This was the first stall they had been to, and Katsuki already looked like he was fed up. Ochako could kinda understand. If alien ice cream was as hard to find as alien spicy food, she probably would have already committed arson or something, but he didn't need to be rude. The shopkeep looked confused at the description. Why would you want to set your mouth on fire? That doesn't seem safe. I've never carried something like that in my stock, and I hope I never do, the alien baffledly retorted. Katsuki let off a dirty look at the fluffy alien, before silently moving on to the next stall that caught his eye. They carried on with like that for quite some time. Each sentient gave some variety of, no clue what you're talking about, don't have it for sure though. Katsuki was seriously starting to look pissed off. Ochako and the others tried to help as much as they could, describing what they were after in any way they could think of that would make sense to the aliens. They all knew how hard Katsuki had been trying to find his little taste of home since they arrived on this planet. The group had been trying to find a vendor that sold cayenne pepper, hot chilies, or even just jalapenos for so long that Mina and Mei had already found what they were looking for and returned with bags stuffed to the brim with something. It was covered so the others couldn't get a peek, despite Denki's persistent whining. Eventually, they had moved to the slightly seedier part of the market. The sun seemed to shine a little dimmer here, the stalls a little tighter together, coverings stretching a little further out into the street, creating a canopy of secrecy. There weren't many stalls left to check, so Ochako was really hoping that this would be the one. The alien running this one looked just as seedy as the surroundings. He had 4 spindly arms, as well as a black eye patch that she was 84% sure was just for show. Katsuki didn't seem to care that this guy was a little sketchier than the others they had been to, speaking the same way to this guy he had to the rest of the shopkeepers. I'm looking for something spicy, like so hot your mouth is burning kind of spice. I don't care if it feels like a supernova going off in my mouth, just give me some spice. Yeah, he really was just done with the world now. Normally he would have blown up by this point, but it seems he can rein himself in when getting what he wants. Spice isn't very descriptive, you know, young'un. Any other name it goes by. I want to help you. I really do. Y'all gotta give me something to work with, the sentient said smoothly. Ochako could tell he definitely wasn't the type to do something out of the good of his heart. He probably just wanted to find out what they wanted so he could upsell them to hell and back. Sketchy guy. Like he had been doing for the past couple of stalls, Deku spoke up to try and help. Well, the chemical compound name for it is capsaicin. We don't really know the word for it in basic, though. Mei did remember the chemical formula, but unless you're really good at chemistry, it's not gonna help. Ochako didn't have high hopes. No one so far had recognized what it was, but why would they? She didn't even know why Mei had memorized it, but Ochako had long since learned not to question when it came to her crazy pink-haired friend. Surprisingly, the sketchy shopkeep replied in a bit of a cocky voice. I'm pretty good with compounds, not to toot my own horn, so hit me. You never know. Maybe I've got it. Okay, Izuku said brightly. You'd be the first if you recognized it. It's C18, H27, N103. As soon as the last number left Deku's mouth, the alien paled. A slightly horrified, but mostly just shocked look was etched on his face, and he looked like he had been slapped. Hey, I don't know what kind of business you think I'm running here. I don't carry poisons like that. That's some serious stuff called capsaicin. I can point you in the right direction, just don't mess around near me with that kind of stuff. Ochako was confused. Poison? They were most certainly not looking for poison. Capsaicin was just food seasoning, not cyanide. But then again, maybe it was poison for aliens. Like, she knew it wasn't something you should give your dog, like chocolate. But alien chocolate wasn't impossible to find. It was hard, but there were some other species that enjoyed chocolate. Why would capsaicin be so different? Poison. Kotsky scoffed. Didn't realize aliens were so weak. So where can we find some capsaicin here if you're useless and don't have it? The alien pointed further into the seedy side of the market. The coverings were so close that the sky wasn't even visible, and the odd, lavender-like smell in the air was sure to be even stronger. Ralt carries some. Big burly sentient with claws and yellow scales on her broad shoulders. She's the best dealer in this city's black market. Bright red. Can't miss her. Black market? They were getting in too deep. Was spicy food really worth this? According to Kotsky, it was, as he was already started down the path, deeper into the hidden market.